I invite you to turn to one another, greet one another with your inherent worth and dignity. I have a few announcements this morning. Glad to see so many of you here. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalists of Transylvania County. I'm Reverend Bob Renjilian. I use he, him pronouns. And glad to see you here, young, old, in between. It's a lovely day. I always felt like when I was living up further north that the folks who would just be so anxious. There's going to be a snowstorm. Can we get to church? Can we get to church? And I said, well, you know, if it's safe to travel, get to church. But if it's not, we'd rather see you all the future Sundays than to have you crash on your way this Sunday. But what I told them was, they said, but how will we know? How will we know? Well, look on the website. Are we open? Well, I don't know if it'll be changed in time. I want to know. I said, tell you what, every Sunday of the year, I will call you at 7 a.m. to say I'm awake and we're having church. And they decided, no, they didn't need that. They would figure it out. I always think, though, that for Unitarian Universalists, the beauty of nature is my biggest competition, so the sunshine's actually worse for us than snow. But glad you're here. There is a budget handout available. It's a budget summary available at the counter out in the main lobby. The budget discussion forum is 5:30 on Thursday. I know that there are, like last year, I think there were 3 people who showed up, wanted very insightful questions into the budget, wanted to learn more. If you're one of those folks who loves to grab numbers and say, what's going on? It's on the summaries on the countertop. If you need a detailed one, I think there will be some detailed ones at the forum itself. You are welcome. You are welcome to come. Somebody from Finance Committee will be there to help answer questions. We had a slide for this too. There's a Jewish lecturer, 3:30 today, and this is at the. Isn't this at Brevard Music Center? Parker Concert Hall, yeah. So 3:30 today. We have been listed as a co-sponsor with the Jewish community here in Brevard for part of this series. And every other month it's a Jewish speaker and Jewish culture, and then every month in between, those are the lectures are from various faith perspectives. So this one's the month for the Jewish perspective and the Jewish influence in Broadway. It's lovely. Where would we be without that? Yeah. Yeah. I will let you know all this week I am in constant meetings, mostly for the Unitarian Universalist Association. I'm on the credentialing committee for religious educators, so I will be extremely slow and negligent about responding to texts and emails this week. But, secret, RK may sneak into the office to cover things with her door closed so she's not disturbed. Okay. So we do have some coverage, and Tricia will be here for some days as well. It is Super Sunday today. Hooray, and thank you to all of you who were helping to help set this up. If you're new to this idea, only been attending in the last few weeks, Super Sunday, we have people volunteer to bring in soup, and some volunteers organize it, so we pull it off. So right after church, go in and you have a free soup meal. I hope you'll join us. As a final announcement, we have Vicki Held will come forward and talk to us about auction.
So this is the week that we all of our hard work on this year's auction comes to fruition. If you've never come to our auction, this is our 3rd annual auction. It is the biggest fundraiser that we do at UUTC, and it is all the money we make goes to support all of our wonderful programs. So thank you for everyone who's already made a donation, whether it's an item that's going to be auctioned or an event that tickets are going to be sold for. We really appreciate all your involvement. Now what we need for you to do is come to our opening night, which is this Friday from 5 to 7. All of our auction items will be on display. All of the events that are selling tickets to will be in this space. We have food, drink. We have a new fun game this year that is like this Wheel of Fortune. So for $10, you spin this wheel, and every spin wins. You either win anything from wine to chocolate valued from $10 to $50. I think we have a bottle of wine that's $58. So you're not going to lose. You'll get a value. So that's going to be fun, and Ian is the host of that. This, well, he's the Vanna or whoever. Yeah, he's the Vanna of the wheel. We manage our auction through a platform for nonprofits called Better World. We've used it many times through the years. If you've ever participated in like the bike raffle or the trip for two anywhere, lunch for two, dinner for two anywhere around the world, or a previous auction, you're already in the Better World system. But if you have to have a credit card associated with a Better World account. And if you have changed your credit card from last year, you need to go in and be sure that's correct, because the only way that you can be a winning bidder is to have an account and a credit card associated. However, we did make one change. Before I go on to the next thing, there's a handout out front on the table. If you need help today, we're all around. The auction committee is all around. We will help you, but it is how to update your account or how to do it if you've never signed up. So that's out there. One thing we're doing this year that's different, though, we're going to sell tickets to the events, and we have almost 25 events this year. People that are hosting dinners in their homes. There's guided hikes. There's the repeat of the Bill and Gail Myers, who turned their house into an Irish pub. This year it's an Irish sing-along, and the return of their wine pairing dinners. We have a champagne brunch. We have a people's tea party. It's amazing. So just look out on the bulletin board out there, and you'll see all of the events. So here's the change. Friday night, we will sell tickets to the events, and you pay for them that night. They will not be online. You have to come Friday night to buy a ticket to the event. What's left over and what tickets are left over will be online starting the Monday after that, and will run until Friday. So the auction goes for 1 week, from Friday at 5 o'clock to the next Friday at 5 o'clock. But if you have an event that you just have to, sometimes they sell out fast. So if there's something that you really want, you need to come Friday night and pay for it that night. Otherwise, your credit card is charged at the end if you're the winning bidder. So everything will be displayed, and in the words of Mike Griffith, this is not only a fundraiser, it is a fun raiser. Mm-hmm. So come have fun with us, and I hope to see you Friday. Thank you. Vicki.
Someone asked if we can bring friends to the auction.
Oh, yes. We are inviting the entire community. Yes, absolutely. Invite your friends. Oh, it's another thing. Thank you for making me think of something else. It'll be on the church Facebook page, and we're going to start doing some local advertising this week, where they can click on the QR code and they can see the whole auction, as well as you can too. If you click on the big QR codes out there today, you can see the entire auction, but we're still entering things. So we will start advertising that next week. But if you go to the church Facebook page and share it to your Facebook friends, that just spreads the word. So consider doing that as well. Okay, I think that's all.
Was there an announcement? Elena, go ahead for an announcement. Come up here, Elena, so they can hear you.
Next Sunday, the Loving Hearts Committee is going to be having a birthday bash to celebrate all of your birthdays. Everyone's birthdays. And we will have some delicious cakes from Blue Ridge Bakery and gluten-free cakes from Lisa. And we hope that you'll all come. It'll be after the service next Sunday. Okay.
Thank you, Elena. I had forgotten to write that down. Thank you. Now, let us all enter into this time of worship, letting the beauty of John's music lead us into the right place in our bodies, our minds, and our spirits.
Thank you, John. My name's Ian Cowie. I'm the worship associate today. Our chalice lighting. Our chalice lighting today is titled On the Brink by Reverend Leslie Takahashi. Reverend Takahashi is the lead minister at the Mount Diablo Unitarian Universalist Church in Walnut Creek, California. Let's read this in unison. All that we have ever loved, all that we had ever been, stands us on the brink of thou because we aspire to create a deeper peace, a larger love, a more amazing hope, and a deeper joy in this life we share.
If you want this one.
Yes, sir.
I have some written notes and some notes that were sent to me electronically to bring into this part of the service where we light the candles of joy and sorrow. I'll start with the ones that came electronically. One, could we have a candle for Janet Benway's brother who is awaiting a 6th surgery? And I have a candle from many people, RK, John and James, and probably others, me too, for Howie Friedman, who has a medical procedure this week. Let's have a candle for healing wishes for Erin Lausch, who broke her arm in a fall. And another candle, prayer for our nation. May we resist with joy. A candle to keep Buddy Tompkins in our thoughts as he has surgery on Tuesday. candle of joy for all the spring blooms. And Ian, you've left a note here, a candle for the thoughtless acts by individuals that impact so many people, and thinking of the families in Vancouver as they deal with last night's tragedy. That was the Filipino celebration that the driver drove through the crowd. Let's light a candle as well for the things that are not yet shared, may be held in the hearts of those who are watching us online. And let's remember these joys and sorrows as we go off and eat soup together, as we see each other during the week, and just hear more from one another.
Our opening words come from Reverend Heather Ryan Starr, settled minister for the UU Southern Delaware Church. Her piece is titled, "Come In from the Wind." On this day, as with so many Sundays, we come in from the whirling world. The wind, the bright sun, the push and pull of tides and time, from the tumult of global news and local stories, the pain we hear of, the demands of our spirits, the do this now culture that we live in. We come into this sanctuary from that windstorm. The rush of speeding drivers on the roadways, the rustling silence that fills our homes, the vastness of a once busy and perhaps now quiet house. All of this can leave us feeling stirred and unsettled. When we give our attention to what's going on around and beyond us in this throbbing world, we can feel wind blown. We need places where we can come and find our grounding once again. So come in from the wind, come in from the whirl. May this be a place where we can experience genuine stillness, even just for a few moments. May this be a place that we can count on as we turn onto the driveway and see the plants pushing forth their beauty in the bog garden, or as we turn our computers and come seeking our congregational homepage. May we feel pulled into a restorative time of energetic peace. May this be a place of learning, of nourishment, a community that generates new zest in us for the dynamic beauty of this world. Come, let us worship together. Reverend Bob will introduce our first hymn.
So our first hymn, the words will be up on the screen. We will be singing hymn number 188, Come, Come, Whoever You Are, and we will be doing it as a round. And John and James and I and also John Austin over in the corner will be helping us divide it into groups, sing it as a round. And we figured it would go 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we have 2 people sitting with John, sing loud. But if some of you on the edge here want to sing along with John at the end, that would. Wait just a minute. The way you divide it up here. Yeah. The people at the very end will be singing loudest. So we got that. So let's see if we can. We're going to sing it all through together, and then we will split. And we'll signal when it's time to hold the last word. That's good. Come, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving. Ours is no caravan of despair. Come, yet again come. Come, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving. Ours is no caravan of despair. Come, yet again come. Come, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving. Ours is no caravan of despair. Come, yet again come. Come, yet again
Good morning, everybody. My name's Kevin, and I work with the kids and the youth here at UUTC, and this is our Wisdom for All Ages. And today's story is called My Grandfather's Blessing. It's written by Rachel Naomi Rimmon, and it's from the website awaken.org. So often, the author writes, when my grandfather would come to visit, he would bring a little present of some type. But it wouldn't be like the dolls and the books and the toys that other people might bring. It would be something very different. And all those dolls and books and toys others brought, I might have got rid of them a half century ago, but some of his presents are still with me. And one day, when my grandfather came to see us, he brought just a little paper cup. And I was excited about it, and I looked in it, and all I saw was dirt. And I was pretty disappointed, and as a really pumped up 4-year-old, I told him this. And he said, be patient. You have to be patient and faithful and water it every day, and something might happen. And so I agreed to this, and every day I'd put a little water in it, but nothing happened. And I kept watering it, nothing happened, disappointed. Next time he came, I told him this, and he said, please, my little Nesh'un Le'el, which is a Hebrew-derived word meaning beloved little soul, let's water it together and keep being faithful, keep doing it. So we got a little teapot from my toy set. We went to the kitchen, got a little water, poured a little more water in it, and put it on the windowsill and waited. Well, I tried to be faithful. I kept watering it, and I kept waiting, but it got harder to water it, and less interested with doing it. Sometimes I'd forget and get out of bed at night after my parents put me to bed to get a little more water for it. But I kept trying to do it, and we waited and I waited, and nothing was happening. So I told this to my grandfather when he came again, and he said, just keep at it, just keep going, just keep doing it. Every day, Neshum Le'el, something beautiful might happen. And then one day, as you might expect, something finally did happen. 2 tiny little green leaves were coming up through the dirt in the cup. And I was so excited that I almost wanted to overwater it and drown it. But I kept watering it a little out a day, and my grandfather came again. I brought him in and showed it to him, and he was so joyous and excited for me. And out of that little cup of dirt, where there seemed to be nothing, a little bit of life bloomed. And it was a beautiful thing. And my grandfather told me, my child, life is everywhere, hidden in the most ordinary and unlikely places. All it needs is water, Grandpa? No, he said. All it needs is your faithfulness. So let's this be a lesson in our service and our faithfulness. We don't need to do everything in the world, but if we can remember to bless the world and bless the life within us, then we can repair the world. And along this theme, in a minute, we are going to take little cups like this with the kids' class, and Heather Williams and Victoria Carr, they're going to lead us in a Beltane May Day celebration where we are going to be adding a little blessing to the world and hopefully spreading it through our community. So Jack, would you bring the candle up, and we will sing the children out.
This is the final Sunday of the month, the last chance for our envelope to say the Children's Center on it for our special collection. If you would like to slip something into that envelope to go to the Children's Center to help those who stand up for children and say no excuse for child abuse and all the good work that they do. This is the time to finally do that, although you can always do that on your own any time on the year. But it's the last chance for us to send in a bulk amount to them. And in addition, anything that you put into the basket in general comes to this congregation. Our ability to remain present to you and to this community. All that you give, we receive with joy. We will now receive the morning offering. Thank you, Susan. Thank you, Dick. What's given in love, we receive with joy. Thank you. I invite you into this moment of prayer and meditation. Spirit of love and life, we who are gathered here in this time know the struggles in our society, the ways in which we hope and pray for our nation, that we might find ways to resist with joy those things that need resistance, to heal those things that are broken, to reach out to those who are hurt and afraid. Spirit of love and life, we also reach out with our prayers beyond the borders of our own nation to anywhere in the world in which there are those who have died at the hands of other human beings, the thoughtless acts by individuals, including the families who are grieving in Vancouver this weekend. Spirit of love and life, we are not without joy. We are not insensitive to all that is around us that is wonderful. In particular, this morning, on this sunny Sunday morning, we have the joy of all the spring blooms. We have all the wonder of what is right with this world that reminds us once again that we are living and we are here with others. This morning, we also know that there are those who are worried for those who are having upcoming surgeries, those who are recovering and would love our prayers to go out and lift up and help. In particular, this morning, we think of Janet Benway's brother awaiting his 6th surgery. We're thinking of Howie Friedman, still down in Florida, because he has a procedure this week. We're thinking of Buddy Tompkins, who has surgery on Tuesday. May our love be felt. May it be so that those who know that they're being prayed for do indeed recover more easily. Spirit of love and life, these and the prayers of our hearts and the meditations of our minds we now hold in the silence. In the names of all those known and unknown, remembered and forgotten, in the names of all the helpers of humankind, we say, Amen. Blessed be. We're really lucky. Last week, John Arditon and James Mack returned from Florida and have immediately been put into service for helping us with our music. So now let's enjoy John and James.
We knew that would happen. We came anyway.
And we love it. Thank you. We're ready. Hit it. I am open and I am willing, for to be hopeless would seem so strange. It dishonors those who go before us, so lift me up to the light of change. I am open and I am willing, for to be hopeless would seem so strange. It dishonors those who go before us, so lift me up to the light of change.
There is a homelessness in my family,
And there is sorrow in my town.
there is a panic all across the nation.
And there is wailing the whole world round. But I am open and I am willing, for to be hopeless would seem so strange. It dishonors those who go before us, so lift me up to the light of change. May the children see more clearly, and may the elders be more wise. May the winds of change caress us, even though they burn our eyes. I am open and I am willing, for to be hopeless
Would be so strange.
would seem so strange.
It dishonors.
It dishonors those who go before us.
So lift me up
lift me
to the
up
light of change.
to the light of change. Give me a mighty yoke to hold my confusion.
Give me a desert to hold my fear.
Give me a sunset to hold my wonder. Give me an ocean to hold my tears. I am open and I am willing, for to be hopeless would seem so strange. It dishonors those who go before us, so lift me up to the light of change. So lift me up to the light of change.
So nice to have you back. And I didn't tell the congregation that worship team said that we should stop clapping, because I knew people were going to clap. It's wonderful to have the gift of this beauty in worship. Some of you don't know that the congregation actually voted on that years ago, way before I was here. And sometimes you'll see me do this. Create a little warmth and send it out prayerfully. No? You don't like that? All right, take it up with the worship team. I know, we appreciate all the gifts of what people bring here. I have a reading from Reverend Joe Cherry. Joe Cherry was a student at Meadville Lombard Theological School in Chicago I think he entered in fall of 2007, which was when I was the minister in residence while I was on sabbatical from my congregation in Pennsylvania. And so I got to know some of the students, some of the up-and-coming folks, and Joe Cherry was one of those. And I know he served a congregation in Cleveland. I don't know where he is at the moment. He wrote this: "Joy is hard." Joy is hard. Joy requires us to feel safe enough, to be safe enough, to open to vulnerability. To feel joy, you must be brave. Joy walks into a room after the space has been cleared of shame, cleared of doubt, cleared of self-recrimination. Joy is hard. Joy is hard, and joy is worth the hard work of preparation, preparing oneself and setting down all the defenses, all the shoulds and could-haves, all the should-not-haves and might-haves. Joy is worth the work. You are worth the work. You can start small. The simple pleasures of your favorite tea. The grand freedom of a full belly laugh. Invite joy to be your companion. Many thanks to Joe for expressing that in those words. My sermon this morning is Clearing for Joy. And it follows from this idea that Joe has put forth, and actually many other wise people have said too. I am bringing this sermon to you this morning. I know that joy and the ability to have the verve of life and connection to all that is, all the world, all the people, all that's holy is something that's reflected in words of wisdom from around the world. The fact that the children this morning are learning to celebrate Beltane, rolling into May Day this week, is a good way of religious tradition outside of some of the norm that we would see around our area. But we also know within the Bible there are verses as well. Romans says, rejoice in hope, be patient in tribulation, be constant in prayer. And it's interesting to think of joy as something that is a gift, a piece of the holy. Galatians 5:22 says, the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. And I almost stand here holding up my fingers and saying, scout law or something, trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, Galatians, it's love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control. And then I think of joy and self-control in the same sentence. And I have to go back to Joe Cherry's writing. Self-control is keeping yourself from getting stuck in the ruts that you have been in. To be able to clear things enough so that you can be present to all that is around you. This week in the Friday discussion, it was brought up the wise words of retired colleague Scotty McLennan, who had done campus ministry at Tufts for many years and then elsewhere. He said, simplify, savor, and serve. I love that in relation to this sermon. Simplify. Take some of the complications away. Take some of those, as Joe Cherry said, some of the should-haves out of there. What is it? People say, don't should on yourself. Simplify. Don't make it so complicated. And then savor. Wow. There is a lot in life to savor. and then serve. Now, at the end of this topic of joy, the month of joy, I want to say that those three linked together probably work really well for a lot of Unitarian Universalists. Simplify in some way, savor, be reminded to savor, and then serve. How many of you brought soup today? Uh-huh. How many of you are working on the auction event on Friday? Uh-huh. How many of you in the room helped out with the Habitat, the call for Habitat to go clean out somebody's house of all the moldy stuff? Uh-huh. I mean, last minute. They call on a Thursday and say, hey, you've helped us out sometimes before. Can you come to us Monday? I guess so. Thanks, Nancy. Yeah, I guess so. Serve. There's more than that. I know there's a box out there in the vestibule to collect books for the University Women's Book Sale. There are all sorts of ways in which there are people right next to you, and you know you yourself have done something to serve. And I hope it brings you joy. Now, maybe in your life, what your service has been something that complicates your life in a way that is not joyful, in which case you need a sabbatical. Remember I mentioned a sabbatical a moment ago? You need to say, got to have a rest. Go out there, smell the roses. Do what you need to do to recharge. Savor life, and then get back into serving when you're refreshed. We can think back to the ways in which we were raised and ways in which there may be blocks to or encouragements to us experiencing joy. The packet this month had asked several questions for us to consider and ponder. Not everybody gets the packet. There are only about 50 people on the mailing list, but it does help with reinforcing home study on the themes. The first question there was, what were you first taught about deserving joy? And that's in quotes, deserving joy. As if we have to deserve joy. That Bible quote said joy was part of the gift. Since when do we have to deserve a gift? It depends on how you were raised. Oh, you'll only be loved if you know exactly how to please the people in your life. And then it's like, yeah, okay, they decide you deserve something nice because you've been nice to them. That's not the way it's supposed to be. What were you first taught about deserving joy? Another question said, has choosing joy ever been an act of survival for you? And then it follows up, an act of defiance. Ooh, joy as defiance. An act of defiance to find joy in your life, to grasp it and to hold it despite what is out there and going on. And I like this for Unitarian Universalists, all those people who said they were part of giving service to others, all those who are helping others, and all of the responsibilities you shoulder. The near the end of the list, not the last question, but pretty close to the last question is, are you too responsible to let joy in? That's a good question. Are you too responsible to let joy in? There have been times when I think I have been way too responsible to let joy in which I have taken my responsibility so seriously that it is very hard for me to switch out of that serious, I'll shoulder the burden kind of mode to let something sink in. There are good people out there who I turn to when it's time to learn that I shouldn't keep joy out. Parker Palmer's one of those people for me. I don't know if you know Parker Palmer, but was really transformative in Parker Palmer's approach to life and the way he talks about it is he'd been professor, tenure track, all of this stuff, and more and more responsibilities in his life until he had a mental breakdown. And he had to leave all those responsibilities in order to re-find himself. And then he started talking about clearing your spiritual life so that you could, in fact, let the soul in. He talked about the soul as if you were going to a clearing and being so quiet that you would see a deer walk into the clearing unafraid. And that the shy soul is like that. And as long as we are doing the four-letter word busy, we are not waiting for that shy soul or the joy. Parker Palmer says, it comes from, this reading comes from my onstage interview that Krista Trippett did with Courtney Martin with me. We had spent over an hour talking about spirituality and social change when Krista asked me to read a brief piece to close us out, and I could think of nothing more appropriate. And this one's titled Hope. And I thought, okay, I thought he was going to read his own stuff. But no, this is by Victoria Safford, who happens to be a UU minister in Minnesota. So he closed out his time with Krista Trippett reading this one from Victoria Safford. Our mission is to plant ourselves at the gates of hope, not the prudent gates of optimism, nor which are somewhat narrower, nor the stalwart, boring gates of common sense, nor the strident gates of self-righteousness, which creak on shrill and angry hinges, nor the cheerful, flimsy garden gate of everything's gonna be all right, but a very different, sometimes very lonely place, the place of truth-telling about your own soul first and of all in its condition, the place of resistance and defiance, the piece of ground from which you see the world both as it is and as it can be, as it might be, as it will be, the place from which you glimpse not only the struggle, but the joy in the struggle. And we stand there, beckoning and calling, telling people what we are seeing, asking people what they see. Wow. Thanks, Victoria Safford. Thanks, Krista Trippett, and thanks, Parker Palmer, for bringing those words forward. And it resonates with me, and maybe with you as well. Wow. I don't have to be screechy and self-righteous. I don't have to be just all cheerful. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. I don't have to be what they called the prudent gates of optimism and that are too narrow, or the stalwart, boring gates of common sense. There is something not quite as tangible as what we are often taught in saying, wait for it and find it in what this is saying. I like it. I like it. Parker Palmer's not the only one out there, though. I do hope, if you haven't already researched Parker Palmer and picked up a book of his, I heard it at the board meeting this last week because Susan brought a reading from Parker Palmer in his Wilderness book. But maybe not everybody's heard of Parker Palmer. He's a Quaker. He's okay. But there's another person out there that's made a career now of helping people. That's Brene Brown. Ever watch a video of Brene Brown on YouTube or read something of Brene Brown? Brene Brown from her own website says, the bottom line is, I believe, that you have to walk through vulnerability to get to courage, and therefore embrace the suck I try to be grateful every day, and my motto right now is courage over comfort. And I do not believe that cussing and praying are mutually exclusive. I've read that one out loud before. It's a neat one. And a book from 2007 that Brene Brown, I thought this must be a new book. I don't remember this book, but it says 2007 where I looked for it. The title is this: I thought it was just me, but it isn't. Making the journey from what will people think to I am enough. What will people think? And that's somehow my own self-judging, letting others judge. Will I be enough? And this is a clearing away as well. And because Brene Brown has made a profession of helping people understand this, I'm putting her words in here rather than me saying it in my words as your minister. We spend so much precious time and energy managing perception and creating carefully edited versions of ourselves to show the world. There's a constant barrage of social expectations that teach us that being imperfect is synonymous with being inadequate. Everywhere we turn, there are messages that tell us who, what, or how we're supposed to be. So we learn to hide our struggles and protect ourselves from shame, judgment, criticism, and blame by seeking safety and pretending and perfection. Our imperfections are what connect us to one another in our humanity. Our vulnerabilities are not weaknesses. They are powerful reminders to keep our hearts and minds open to the reality that we are all in this together. Yeah. We're all in this together. And me anyway, I know there are times in which I try to make things so people like me. It's interesting, I was trained as an interim minister partway through my career of ministry, and the person training said, by the time you leave that congregation as an interim, they should be really glad to see the back end of you going. But on the other hand, glad that you did what you did. Interim ministry was one of those ministries in which I was not supposed to end up being loved by the congregation. I was supposed to help them meet their goals even when they didn't want to clear out what they had to clear out to make room for their new future and vision. I sometimes do that even in settled ministries, hint, hint. It's just a little longer arc, and things that maybe go at the speed of church in getting there. Because I like being liked. But I still like helping people clear. Maybe these gave you hints on things to clear from your life. Ways in which you have something that has occupied your mind, your very being, some way, somehow, helping you go on in a way that allows joy. Simplify, savor, serve. I'm going to tell you, Brene Brown has a study guide to that book. I thought it was just me book. And it's available online, brenebrown.com. And it has posted, I almost had it to post up there, but I don't have the rights to post. What she has looks like it should be pinned to a refrigerator. You know, kind of handwritten in a calligraphy that just works right on a refrigerator. Or your bathroom mirror, or wherever it is you have to see it every day. It says this, and I'll close the sermon with these words. Owning our story can be hard, but not nearly as difficult as spending our lives running from it. Embracing our vulnerabilities is risky, but not nearly as dangerous as giving up on love and belonging and joy, the experiences that make us the most vulnerable. Only when we are brave enough to explore the darkness will we discover the infinite power of our own light. Thank you for listening. Our closing hymn is number 100, I've Got Peace Like a River. I got peace like a river, I got peace like a river, I got peace like a river in my soul. I got peace like a river, I got peace like a river, I got peace like a river in my soul. I got joy like a fountain, I got joy like a fountain, I got joy like a fountain in my soul. I got joy like a fountain, I got joy like a fountain, I got joy like a fountain in my soul. I got love like an ocean, I got love like an ocean, I got love like an ocean in my soul. I got love like an ocean, I got love like an ocean, I got love like an ocean in my soul. I've got pain like an arrow, I got pain like an arrow, I got pain like an arrow in my soul. I got pain like an arrow, I got pain like an arrow, I got pain like an arrow in my soul. I got tears like the raindrops, I got tears like the raindrops, I got tears like the raindrops in my soul. I got tears like the raindrops, I got tears like the raindrops, I got tears like the raindrops in my soul. I got strength like a mountain, I got strength like a mountain, I got strength like a mountain in my soul. I got strength like a mountain, I got strength like a mountain, I got strength like a mountain in my soul. Yes. Yes. This little candle's going out, but we'll light it again next week. Our chalice candle's out, but it's held in our hearts. May you go out with joy, return again with love. Blessings on you as you clear the way that you may feel joy and go out simplified, savoring, and serving. Thank you.